So, first of all, I want to say heartful welcome to all of you, and I'm really thankful uh, that we share a part of our life path together with practicing the Zen practice. Thank you very much for that, and thank you for coming too. So I was thinking about what I should take uh, Hanamatsuri or the war in Ukraine or the war in several states in the world. And I pick up at first the war in the world between the states. And you all know this war is not just between states, it's even between with our sometimes with our neighbor, sometimes with our partner, sometimes with colleagues in the work, or you know, it's stuff enough, possibilities enough. Even we fight with ourselves, with with ourselves. So how we can stop that? So everybody has a wish to become peace or live with peace in peace. So it's not a hope in the future. We can hope this, but that is not a real solution. We have to go this way to the peace. We have to practice by our own coming to peace inside. And a good example is Zen practice. And most of you knows how what was a challenge it is to practice the Buddhist way. What a challenge it is to live the life, our own life. But nevertheless, there was an Austrian philosopher, Ludwig Wittgenstein, who said, not that life, the earth, like it is a mysterious. It's the mysterious is why she is or how she is. So that's the contrary part of what I said before. So it's something wonderful. There's something where we should enjoy whatever happens. The ways is we have to lose our ego. And by starting the war in Ukraine or something elsewhere, sometimes Roshi, Sasaki Roshi, seems to be something like a ego killer. So he kills my ego. In better words, he supports me to kill my ego a little bit. So of course it's completely different than to shoot another person. But for the structure here, it's very similar. So in the Hinduism, there's one god, it's called Shiva, and he kills and destroys all. And counterpart is Vishnu. He take care for everything. In Buddhism, it's Kanzeon. In we recitating is in many sutras, and Kanzeon takes care for every being, not just human being, for for animals, for flowers, for the whole fauna and flora in the whole world. So, and even inside, we have these two parts this in us. One part want to forget all and want to let behind all, and the other part wants to keep. And the important point is that this both should be in a balance. And sometimes we have really to let go old stuff and have to reincarnate new, to be born new as a new person. And Sasaki Roshi often mention it, how to get a new person, how to resurrect here when you come into the Sanzen room. So what I want to say is that we themselves, everybody of us, has both sides in it. Uh, a part of them who destroy it, and a part of them who takes care. And the Zen practice, which I mentioned it before, uh, mostly in your news, it is really a challenge, and we are often struggling with that. And sometimes it's a hell, sometimes it's a heaven. So, what is the result of them? To become free from sadness and from happiness. So, even the Dalai Lama, the Tibetan uh, teacher, Buddhist teacher, spoke many times. Uh, everybody wants to be happy. So that's the most important point, he said. But it's not enough. So practice goes deeper than to be happy or sad. That's free of both. Whether whether happy, whether sad. And just flowing with what's going on, what needs to be. And be free in every situation without unnecessary relating on situations with belief we know it's a similarity which we already have in front of us. So many times we relate, oh, I know the situation, and the solution was this way. Mostly it's working. That's the good way. But sometimes it's a border, an unnecessary border, who 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 doesn't let see us the way of the solution. So every situation, look with a new free mind what's in front of you, and the wisdom, the inner wisdom, the intuition, which comes slowly and slowly with the practice, with meditation, like Sasaki Roshi many times said, more than. So it comes up intuition too. So maybe we're getting in every situation which we confronted better and better. Suminase, he say oftentimes in Japan, excuse me, it's not enough. So that shouldn't be a blame on ourselves. It should be helpful for us and others. If I have this attitude and say, Sumin was saying, it's not enough. So it's open up myself and it's open up the human being each in front of me. So, and that's helpful to find a satisfy solution or satisfy way to go together further, or that brings us further. So when we embrace the world, don't start to picking. Oh no, this guy not Hitler, no. Putin, no. Uh, Trump, no. Joe Biden, maybe, and so on. In the moment where you start to picking, you will lost the way. That's Shinji Mai Sutra, which is from ancient China. And it's a term very short. The way is very easy, just without justice, without choosing, without picking. So very easy sentence, but not easy to embody it, to practice it. So in the morning, there was coming up the light. I like this twilight. And the other term is, then term is religion is if somebody looks in a dark room, in a black room for a black cat and he couldn't find. Philosophy is somebody looks in a dark room, in a black cat, and called, I found the cat. The Zen way is to look in a dark room for a black cat and you say, there is no cat. So why I tell this? It should help us to coming beware of a side in our life which is not visible. This morning we chanting the Hanya Shingyo, and mostly of you, I hope, knows what is standing in. And standing in, there is nothing to see, there's nothing to hear, there's nothing to taste, there's nothing feeling on the skin, and so on. So there's a part in us. A good example for that is you have two eyes, but the third eye, which comes with a practice, which comes while we get more and more silence inside, and our inner wisdom and intuition becomes aware of for us, and we started to trust them. That's the next important step. First is to become aware. The next is to start to trust them. And the third is to embody it in our daily life. That means while the Zen way, the Zen monk says in a black room looking for a black cat, and he said, there is no cat. But there is one. But there is no cat too. Both. Both is the point of view which important is for our practicing in the Zen. Another good example is, and it's more famous, at first the mountains are mountains. Then the mountains are no more mountains. And then the next step is the mountains are again the mountains. So, but the third mountains are not the same than in the first sentence. The mountains are the mountains. There's a huge difference between. And to experience this different, to experience this unknown world is such a wonderful thing. It's a, by the way to become free from suffering. You know, one of the four wisdom which Shakyamuni Buddha mentioned it. So become free from suffering. And then you become able to embrace really every human being. Really every all included. You can, like the Sakyoshin mentioned it, one space, one room. And you see, we are sitting in different places in the world, uh, in different places in USA, different places in Europe. And nevertheless, at the moment, we are in one space, in one room, Kyukai. And by the way, every one space create something like combined with a time. It's something like a space time. So every space has its own time. So what kind of world is that? And now I can start with Hanamatsuri, which we have a celebration tomorrow. And it's a beautiful festival. So the story goes that first Hana is the flower and the nose. So we stick in our nose in the flower and smell on it. And Matsuri means festival. So when the historical story goes so that the Buddha was born and immediately he could walk and he should have done 7 steps in every direction. And by every step, flowers comes up from his feet and flowers comes up from the heaven. And tomorrow we have a baby Buddha in a bath, and one finger shows up to the heaven, the others shows down to the earth, and he's a wisdom of the combine of heaven and earth, and he should say he should have said throughout heaven and earth, I am the only one. So that could sound like an ego sentence. But what does it mean, this only one? This only one means this one space. We all share not just a part of our life path now by this Zazenkai today. So we all share our whole life, one space. There's just one space. And that is was Buddha was a witness of showing with one finger to the heaven, showing with the other finger to the earth. And he is the only one. And what we are doing tomorrow. So there is water with uh, roses leaves in it. And I saw in India, there's huge Buddha statue. And There are scaffolds with, I don't know, 10 feet, 30 feet, really huge one. And it's about scaffold on it because on Hanamatsuri, they have a lot of fluid and there are several kinds with milk and honey and water, good, good smelling water and so on. And they just put it over this huge statue. So I just saw the statue and the scaffold. I I was not able to join this Hanamatsuri in India, but what this comes up with me was it's something like wash up, something like a different layer of garlic. So wash up all layers. That all layers means let the ego go. Let it go, just wash it up. So tomorrow, when we take the ladle and put a little bit water and pour it over the baby Buddha, to think maybe on it, just in that moment, let go a layer of your ego and get be free. So isn't it a wonderful festival tomorrow? So it's never, by the way, it's a very happy festival. I just check my list or if I've mentioned all. It looks good. Oftentimes, people ask me, why do you do this to make an online uh, Zazenkai? And I have just one answer. In my way of practice, I receive so much from the Sake Roshi, from the US Sangha, from people who create these places where we can practice, who bought this Rinzai-ji temple and restore it and take care from them over years. So just a little bit part, just a part of them, I try to give back for what I was able to receive, for this great gift which I could receive, and give a little bit back for tomorrow, for this wonderful festival, Hanamatsuri, and wash up the different layers of the ego. Thank you very much.